Hello everyone, I'm Bandersnatch. This is one of my first videos I'll be doing for Hearthstone. I just recently started playing Hearthstone less than a couple weeks ago and I love it. I love any TCG game, trade card game. I just want to talk a little bit about one of my decks that I play that I found a lot of success in. It's going to be my Priest deck. I found that it's really easy to control the board with my Priest, and I'll go over the setup that I have in my deck. By all means, I am not a pro at this game. I just started listening to playing. I just found a lot of success in this deck that I created. I got some insight from a couple YouTubers that play Hearthstone religiously and are pros, and I kind of just mixed and mingled what works best for me. I do main Priest. He's at a level 34 right now. I do like to play the Hunter as well. A lot of board control, a lot of secrets, a lot of dismisses of cards. So I'll get right into it. I named my Priest the Holy One. Real evident why he's called the Holy One. As far as my first startup, I like to run with a silence. It's no mana cost. You can silence any of those pesky minions that are going to buff themselves or pump themselves up early game. I run with a one Holy Smite for those other minions that are just a pest on the board, like those charge minions from the Beast and the Hunter. Mind Vision, it's an easy one card draw off of your opponent. Pretty self-explanatory. The Northshire Clerk, I've seen a lot of priests like to run 2 clerks in their deck. I found it's kind of useless. They get taken out really easy in the first 3 minutes of the game, especially from another priest. Just use their Shadow of Pain. It'll dismiss that card like it's not even there. That's why I like to put one of my taunts in there, the Shield Bearer. Protect that Northshire Clerk. At least try to get milk 1 card off that clerk. Divine Spirit, one of my favorite cards to play. It also goes hand in hand with my Light Spawn. These cards are a nasty duel. Light Spawn, as you can see, the minion's attack is always equal to its health. So what I like to do is try to get a taunt card out first of all, throw that card down. Don't throw your Divine Spirit on right away because you can't use it obviously because it's not a charge card. So if you throw that Divine Spirit on and you pump that card up, if you're going against another priest or somebody else, say like the rogue that'll just assassinate it, and you just wasted 3 cards for the price of 0. So what I like to do is get a little bit of dismay out there by putting a taunt card out there or another big minion, make them use that assassinate card, and then I'll throw that Light Spawn card out and don't pump it up till your next turn. So when the next turn comes around, if that card's still alive, you can throw a Divine Spirit on, or both Divine Spirits if you have them. I found out I had that card up to 20 damage, and it was just a one-hit wonder. It hit him in the face and he was done. There was nothing he could do about it. So Divine Spirit and Light Spawn, they go hand in hand together. If you don't have one, I would not put the other in your deck as well. Shadow of Pain, and also a really good card that I like in my Priest deck. It takes care of those other minions that are 3 and under. You get those minions that, I can't remember what it's called, but he's a 2/7 card. Basically, for all the damage he takes, he pumps himself up 3 times. That's an easy card to dismiss. Get right off the board, doesn't give him a chance to pump that card up. Lightwell, pretty self-explanatory. Also, you want to play that card behind a taunt card or behind a big minion, so it doesn't take as much focus as you want to, because that card can be a lifesaver. Constantly heals all your minions. It starts with itself, and obviously if it's damaged, it'll heal itself or heal your hero first. So a really good card. Shadow of Death, same principle as the Shadow of Pain. It deals for your big minions. I always like to put 2 of those in my deck for those big minions that you can't take care of right off the bat. Thoughtsteal. I found that this card is a necessity in this deck. Thoughtsteal is the core of the Priest deck. I would not even play the Priest deck if this card wasn't available. Thoughtsteal, it's one of the greatest cards. It's a easy 2 card up on your opponent, and it also snags 2 of their cards. I've had really good luck with Thoughtsteal. I've snagged like once every 3 times I snagged their legendary on it. I don't know how that works out, if I'm just lucky or it's a luck of the draw, but I snagged some of their top cards. So it'll put you up for the measly price of 3 mana. You're gonna get 2 free cards out of their deck. Injured Blade Master. This is a card that you need to play and put in your deck for other priests. As you know, priests can only attack early game 3 damage and 5 damage. 4 is the priest's weakness. So if you play a card that has 4 damage, it's going to be really hard for the priest to try to contain that card. I found that out from getting stomped by priests that have these 4 cards because there's nothing I could do about it. It's going to take 2 cards to kill 1 card, so they're always going to be ahead in the game. So really good card, and you can also just keep healing that card to get it where it needs to be. Mind Games, another really good card I like to play in my priest deck. I also have really good luck with this. I've drawn 3 legendaries off my opponent just using this card. It always helps in the time of need, like if I'm going against a rogue or a hunter. It also provides me a shield, most of the time that 4/4 beast shield, so it's really convenient. I like to put 2 of them in my deck. Shadow Madness, I like to run 2 of these, but unfortunately with all my other cards that I picked, I'm only going to run 1. Shadow Madness is really good. It's good for demobilizing the opponent by snagging one of his cards and doing damage to another card of his. So basically, for the price of 0 cards or 0 cost to your board, you're going to snag 2 of his cards for free. And also, I've seen a really good play by, I can't remember what his name was. He's a professional though. He had the Brewmaster, so he snagged that card. It was a high 3 value card. He snagged it, and then the Brewmaster used his barrel to stick it back in his deck. So basically, he just stole that card from him. It was a really good gameplay. So I tried it once. It worked, but not success all the time. Obviously, he's a professional. So Defender of Argus. I found out that you only need 1 in the priest deck. It's an easy taunt. It's an easy 1/1 that you can buff up and pump up your other minions. As you notice, the priest deck doesn't really play a lot of minions as far as that are going to be inflicting damage. It's a lot of board control, so he's going to be countering a lot of the minions coming in. So that's what I found out. Priest early game, if you don't have a lot of 1s, I like to put at least 4 1 mana cards in my deck to try to control the board and minimize the damage. But late game, the priest, if he goes uncontested, he's nasty. I mean, he is just stealing cards left and right, taunting people. I mean, it's unreal. So Defender of Argus, yeah, only run 1 of them. Light Spawn, like we discussed earlier, you want 2 Light Spawns, you want 2 Divine Spirits. Like I said, this card here, its attack is equal to its health. Throw one of these bad boys down, throw a Divine Spirit on it, or 2, shit, whatever you want to do. You're going to be pumping out 20 damage if that card goes uncontested. Holy Nova, that's basically the priest's AoE. He's going to be controlling the board with that. He's going to deal 2 damage to the whole board. This card is really good for those pesky rush decks, as far as like the Warlock likes to fuck around with those Murlocs and whatnot. So yeah, this card will dismiss them and like they weren't even there. I run 2 of them obviously, and it also gives you 2 health as well to all your friendly characters. Face of Manipulator. I love this card. This card is an easy late game card for if they throw down one of their legendary cards. Just pop this bad boy out, copy a replica of their legendary, and you have one. So now they're facing with the problem of fighting your legendary. And most of the time, like in the lower leagues, these people here, they try to take their legendary and they see that you copied one, they'll try to go head to head for it. So basically, for the cost of 5 mana, they killed their legendary, which is probably a 9 or 10 card. So it's in your favor by all means. Holy Fire. This card can work in numerous ways for me. It's saved me the game sometimes. I just go right to their face with it, deal 5 damage. Basically, you're transferring 5 damage to them, 5 health to your hero. Or you can take out those big pesky minions. It basically acts like a Shadow Death. It does 5 damage. And you can focus. You don't have to focus a taunt. You can focus whatever's on the board for 5 damage. It'll eliminate that card. I'll run 2 of them, Holy Fires. Cabal Shadow Priest. This is another really cool card that I like to have. If you can see, there's a trend here. The priest is doing a lot of manipulation to the opponent's deck. Basically, you're stealing cards, making replicas of their cards, and basically you're playing the priest deck and whatever deck that your opponent has. So you basically have 2 decks for the price of 1. This card here is excellent to throw down mid-game. Snag a 2 or less attack card. Like I said, those big minions, that one, I can't remember what it's called, but it does 2 attack, and it starts with 7 health, so every time it takes damage it does 3, it pumps itself up. I like to snag that right off the bat, and then they're trying to focus that card down, so basically it takes all the focus off your minions onto that one big card that you just snagged for the price of 6 mana, and plus it throws a nice 4/5 on the board for you as well. So if they do eliminate the card you just stole, you're pumping out 4 damage if they don't take care of that. Black Knight, I like to run this as one of my favorite legendaries as well. I noticed a lot of those guys that like to run like the Mountain Troll, it's a big minion in 8/8 card with taunt on it. This takes it out no problem, just slice through it like a hot butter knife. So that minion is basically just a disappearance. So this takes care of all those, but I suggest not using it all obviously until like late game, because you don't want to waste it on a 0-2 taunt that those mages throw out. It's kind of a waste. We can just take care of it with another minion. By far, by all means, my opinion, I'm not saying it is, this is my favorite legendary card in the whole game. Ysera, this card is unbelievable. It pumps out some of the best cards in the game. As you can see, it says at the end of your turn, draw a dream card. It doesn't do very much attack damage, but the cards that it pumps out is where it's at. And plus, it's got a healthy 12 health. This card here, also, what I've done in my deck too, if you don't use the Faceless Manipulator, if you throw your Ysera down, your next turn you can make a replica of it, so you're drawing 2 cards for the price of 1. You have basically 2 legendaries for the price of 5 mana, and that is devastating. I've done that numerous times, and I've had people just concede, just get out. They don't even want to waste their time and fuck around with that. So they definitely get out. That is a nasty card. Some of the cards that come out of there is a 0 mana card. You can return any of your opponent's minions back to their starting deck. Another one is the dragon that comes out. It's a 5 mana. It's a 7/6 card. Nasty, devastating card. Another one that comes out is it's a pump card. Basically pumps up your minions, does a 5/5 for them, so it adds a 5 additional health, 5 additional damage. And this Ysera card is just unbelievable. I think it's one of the best legendaries in the deck. It's a must-have, especially for the priest. And then last but not least, Mind Control. This card is nasty. It is 10 mana, so make sure you use it on something worthwhile. 10 mana. I've spent 10 mana really well stealing their legendaries, or stealing a card that's going to save me the game, like a big taunt card like those mountain trolls. If you're down to your last bit of health, use your healing power to give you a little bit of health, a little bit of leeway there. Snag that big mountain troll, and now they're face to face with their own minion that you just stole. And usually when I use this card, we're down to our last 2 cards in the deck, and they have no cards, and I have 1 card. So any damage on the board is in your favor. So I'll snag it with this bad boy, and it's good game. This is just a little bit of a rundown, guys. Like I said, this deck might not work for everybody. I just want to get a little bit of everybody's insight when if they try this deck, how it works for them. It's worked really well for me. Like I said, by all means, I'm not a pro. I'm just saying, giving some advice to some new people that are starting out, what works really well. A lot of these cards, you can earn them by playing the priest deck, but I spend 50, 60 bucks buying 40 packs, and I've gotten pretty lucky. I got some legendaries and whatnot. I'll show you some of my legendaries. I don't run the Prophet Velion. I don't like it. I prefer, like I said, Ysera over the Prophet, just for obvious reasons. It's a big health advantage, and it takes care of what it needs to take care of. Sorry, I have to plug my computer in. It's starting to run dead here on this monster Alienware 18X. Some of my other legendaries, the King Molka, it's kind of a waste. I don't like to play any cards that give my opponent any benefit, like draw 2 cards for each opponent. It's stupid. Why would you want to give your opponent the heads up? I mean, yeah, you might draw some good cards, but they're drawing probably the same, if not better. I do run Harris the Jones in some of my decks. It's a great manipulator for those guys like the Warlocks and the Paladins that like to feast off of their weapons. It destroys it. Another one that I have, the Bloodhoof, is really good. The Giblin, you get this if you purchase decks of cards from Battle.net. It's a special card. Black Knights we discussed. Nat Pagle, I haven't had very much good luck with Nat Pagle. It says deal at the start of your turn, 50% chance of drawing an extra card. I think for me it's draw 10% chance. I never get a fucking card with Pat Nagel, so I barely don't play him at all. I don't know if he just doesn't like to fish for me or what the fuck his deal, but whatever. Old Murkai, you'll see that run the decks. Another one of my favorite legendaries that I think is probably second best in the whole game, Ragnaros, the Fire Lord. This is a monster. I've had this card in my deck, or my other decks, and as you can see, it does not attack, but at the end of your damage, at the end of the your turn, it deals 8 damage to a random minion. And if there's no minion on the board, then obviously it's going right to the face of your opponent. And I've had guys try to silence this card, which is excellent because it gives me full control of an 8/8 card. So they silence it, and they realize at the end that they just fucked up. They silence it, and now I'm going to start smashing small minions and going right to the face, and they just quit. So that's a little bit of a rundown, guys, of my deck and how I play a little bit. I'm still in the learning process, as you can see. But I just want a little bit of insight into how you guys, if you guys play this deck and how it works for you. Alrighty, hopefully we'll see you guys later and have fun. Bye.